Boker Tov, good morning. Today is Friday, July 21st, Erev Shabbat, Parshat Dvarim, Shabbat Chazon. It's the Shabbat in which we read about the harsh words of Yeshayahu. As Jews were wonder why is it that we're suffering so? Why are we being beaten, and why are our towns burned? And Yeshayahu makes it clear you can't figure it out. You can't figure it out. It's because of the way you treat each other. It's the abuse of the weak. It is the perversion of justice. And the only way that Zion, he concludes, that Zion can be turned around, can be redeemed and protected, is mishpat and tzedakah, by the fair execution of justice and judgment, and acts of tzedakah, which could mean both the righteous carrying out of justice as well as acts of loving kindness. That we keep in our minds and our hearts as we approach this week ahead of Tisha B'Av. Last Shabbat, I spoke about sinat chinam, which is translated as something like unwarranted hatred, baseless hatred for one another. My focus was on the way things metastasize, where there are strong disagreements about important things can, in certain situations, explode into real expressions of hatred and real feelings of hatred to one another in a very dangerous way. And that's what we're seeing in Israel around the judicial reform that has been is being pushed through by the coalition. And it's brought about such strong emotions in every direction, which, again, passions are good, but hatred is not, and you feel that, and it's a tragic thing. What happens when you feel hatred is that you cannot see the other as worthy of anything. The Orach Chaim comments on the types of hatred that can exist. Lo sisnas achicha bilvavecha. He said, well, there's one kind where you actually wish ill upon the other. You wish ill upon the other. I pray for bad things to happen to you. That type of hatred, we're not in that, right? Thankfully, that's not what we have. Nonetheless, there's a type of sin in which I can't find any achava. I can't find any sense of connectedness to the other person. I feel completely disconnected from them, and they are the shorish of evil. They are the root of that which is bad, and I can't enable myself to be with them. That's part of what losis. That's what the nature of sinas achicha is, where you just don't feel the achava, the brotherhood with one another, and that's really, really the dangerous reality that we've seen emerging here, and we're desperately hoping that they can be pulled back from the brink. I don't know if they're going to be pulled back from the brink. When I met months ago with Simcha Rothman, with our group of rabbis that went there, and that was in effect what we desperately begged him to consider. How you bring about changes that might, some of them, be valuable and important to bring forward. And if you do it in such a way where you're bulldozing over other people and you just create havoc, and not havoc, you split up society. People aren't ready to engage the way you're engaging. So then you've done only bad. That's what we try to convey to him. That's what I try to convey to him, and that's what we're feeling right now. That, again, whatever the mishpat concepts that are there about what would be the right way to have a balance of power, this isn't the way to achieve it. This is not the way to achieve it. At the same time, in all of this, and we hope and we pray that they'll be pulled back from the brink, and that they can return to the discussions and of across the larger society as to what should happen, and how a constitutional this is a constitutional moment. We hope and we pray that people will see the chance to really think about the structure and the makeup of our principles in Israel. I bring us back to that notion of sinat chinam, and the worry that whatever is happening, we should dare not to find ourselves with hatred in our hearts. That's the same issue that we have in this country, where we find that people are so on polar opposite positions and cannot tolerate the other. And so I conclude with a teaching of Rav Kook about Sinat Chinam and the antidote. It's not the fix to all the things that are ailing society and what people are disagreeing about, sometimes rightly and sometimes not. But the recognition that as deep as Sinat Chinam can go, Ahavat Chinam can go there too. Hey, if there's baseless hatred, and then we know that's a strong emotion, there can also be baseless love. And that means that we have so much that we disagree about, but I search for, and I find something about the other that says, that recognizes that we're in this together, that we are brothers and sisters. And I think that's what he might mean about Ahavat Chinam. And he writes these words: "V'im necharavnu v'necharav ha'olam imanu al yedei sinat chinam." And if we have been desolated and decimated and destroyed, along with the world with us, through baseless hatred, nashuv lihibanot v'ha'olam imanu yibaneh, we will return to be rebuilt, and the world along with us can be rebuilt. Al Yedei Ahavat Chinam, through this type of love that finds something in the other, that feels connection again, tries to recreate connection. And it doesn't mean that we're all in karmic hugging love. It just means that I know that we are what we have between us matters most. And then to work again to try to arrive at the real true issues of mishpat and tzedakah together, that which is just and that which is right as one. Wishing you all Shabbat Shalom, and the prayer that we can see B'nechamat Zion, in the comforting of Zion, through our actions that we will bring about for the good.